Play ball!
Wing Wednesday on Sports Tree Ltd. is presented by Halo Fishing from American Baitworks.
Steer!
Hello and welcome to Wing Wednesday here on Sports Tree Ltd. Folks, I'm your man Connor Roundtree, and this episode is brought to you by Halo Fishing from American Baitworks. As always, we're going to jump right into this week's episode with our MLB rundown, and our first thing up is the MLB standings, and we have to take a look at the American League East first. The Tampa Bay Rays lead the American League East and the American League as a whole with 73 wins. In the Central, it is the White Sox in control with 70 wins, and out west, the Houston Astros also have racked up 70 wins. In the NL East, it is the Atlanta Braves that now control the National League East with 64 wins. In the NL Central, it is Milwaukee still reigning supreme with 73 wins. And in the NL West, it is the San Francisco Giants leading the majors with 78 wins. Folks, getting into our Blue Jay Weekly Flyby now, some big news from Blue Jay land, and it's not so great. George Springer is back on the IL with a bad knee. He missed the Blue Jays get doubled up 12-6 by the Washington Nationals last night. That was the first game that he missed. He's going to be at least 10 days out on the IL. So, folks, not great news in Blue Jay land. Getting into our Blue Jays preview now, the Birds have an opportunity to get a little vengeance this afternoon, going down at 4 p.m. Eastern time, that is. Look, they've lost 4 of their last 5. Losing Springer not only hurts their confidence, but it hurts their batting order too. If they're going to get back into this race, they need to do it tonight. Folks, the starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays is Jose Berrios. He's been lights out as a Blue Jay outside of his last start in LA. He loves getting after hitters with 16 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. I like him to get back on track today. As for Josiah Gray, he's in for a rough day. Yes, he's been in great form as of late with a sub-3 ERA over his past 3 starts. But the Blue Jays lineup is persistent, and they finally get some pitching support today. So even if Gray starts strong, he doesn't have that proven record to pitch long into games. And I like the Blue Jays batters, who are excellent at elevating that pitch count, to do so and wipe him out in the early innings. Our Blue Jay to watch is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. If anyone's going to turn on those wipes, it's him. If someone's going to ignite this offense, it's him. If someone's going to hit a home run, it is him. He is second in the league in home runs this season, and the Blue Jays are going to need that prolific bat with George Springer banged up again today. All right, folks, getting down to the nitty-gritty of today's game. I like both batting orders to be effective, but the facts are, if the Blue Jays want to be a postseason team, these kind of games are crucial. The Nats literally sold their entire team to the Dodgers. You have to be able to beat up on teams in the rebuilding phase. I like the Blue Jays to go out and put a stamp on a victory here tonight. All that talk about those Blue Jays has me hungry for some chicken wings. But first, a word from our sponsor. All right, folks, getting into our chicken wing review here today, we've got the Crown and Dragon in Toronto. This is their classic, talking to the guy there, the New York Buffalo Butter, and we're going to go in for it now, folks. Grip it, dip it, and lip it. You know the drill. Literally, my only knock on these things is the size. They're not the biggest, but the flavor, not too hot. I'm starting to sweat, though. It really comes in at the end. That Buffalo New York, you get the buttery flavor in the sauce. It's so, so good. As for the wings themselves, the skin texture, a little bit of crunch in the bite, which is really nice, and then the chicken just falls right off the bone behind it. Crown and Dragon Pub comes away wearing the crown Wings coming in at an 8.1. These things are awesome. Getting into our fantasy up and down now for the MLB. Folks, it's coming up to be trade deadline for all you fantasy GMs out there. So a pitcher that you need to put up and into your lineup is Tristan McKenzie. He's right around 50% owned in fantasy currently. And finally, yes, finally, he's pulling it together. In his last outing, he was just 4 outs away from a perfect game. He's thrown at least 6 innings in 4 of his last 5 starts for the combined 20 Ks across his last 3. This kid is finally starting to look like an ace. The batter that you need to put up and into your lineup is Connor Joe. Not only because it's fun to say, but he also has 5 home runs and is hitting over 300 over the past 2 weeks. When a Connor is on fire, you gotta ride with that Connor. If this show's taught you anything, it's that. Getting into our fantasy downs now, as we said before, trade deadline is coming up, so let's look at some guys that we could move. Chris Bassett. Yes, he's been on fire this season, but he also broke his face on Tuesday night in the second inning with a comebacker to the face. His vision is 20/20 still, so his eyes are okay, and he is set for surgery later this week, but it should be a little bit of time before he returns to the lineup. So if you have him on your fantasy team like I do, try to fleece somebody. As for the batter that you should put down, it's George Springer. He's back on the IL, folks. It's not looking good. He's hurt and playoffs are coming up. If you can fleece somebody at the trade deadline and get some nice return for George Springer, maybe a pitcher, maybe some batting help, maybe a Blue Jays fan, maybe an Astros fan from 2019, I'm sure you can pull it off. Folks, getting into our trivia question brought to you by Halo Fishing from American Baitworks. To get in to win a pair of MLB tickets to see your favorite teams play live, which Blue Jay has the most home runs in the franchise history? All you have to do is head on over to sportstreeltd.com, hit sign up or sign in, and that'll take you over to our web app. Remember that an upgrade in your subscription is an upgrade in your chances to win up to $15,000 a year and tickets to see your favorite teams play live. Folks, I'm Connor Roundtree, and on behalf of our partners over at Halo Fishing from American Baitworks, when in doubt, just wing it.
Play ball!
Wing Wednesday on Sports Tree LTD is presented by Halo Fishing from American Baitworks.
Steer right!